ESL One Katowice continues on day number 1. We're in our second round of matches here in Group A right now. We'll of course focus this afternoon on Group B's matches. We'll get 2 more rounds of those games in as well. So it gives you a chance to watch every single team across 3 different streams. Right here on the main stream, we're focusing on Gambit versus FTD. FTD from China, having qualified for their first large-scale tournament in the world, finding themselves in a rocky position right now. They're 0-3 in the group as we head into game number 2 against the Gambit side, gents. That I kind of feel like there's an opportunity for them to win a tournament here. I know it's going to take a few things to fall their way, but they've got, in general, got all the pieces, haven't they, Cap?
I don't often like to correct a host, but you did say they qualified. They didn't qualify for this event.
FTD.
No, FTD.
FTD, you're talking
FTD.
about.
I was talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
FTD qualified. Gambit were invited.
No.
Well, FTD didn't qualify.
FTD didn't qualify, is what I mean.
They were a replacement, I believe.
Were they?
They placed second in this qualifier.
Okay. Yeah, yes, technically, but they had to go through the qualifiers to get here.
I think we can let it go.
No, no,
but I'm sorry.
I think we're both right here.
I'm making a lot of fun of
really?
FTD, but I just couldn't hold
You
back
want your
for that
perfect
last.
attendance award too, Paul?
I guess. I mean, whatever.
You set me up for just another opportunity to give FTD a burn. So you know,
and they might have to visit the Burns unit after this. Yeah, Gambit. Are they potential winners here? I mean, just forget about Secret for a minute, because we're thinking like maybe they experiment too much, maybe they go too far, maybe they have too much fun, whatever. Are Gambit a legitimate title challenger at this event?
Title challenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like super high percentage, but they're definitely, I think they're a contender for grand finals for sure. They're definitely a team to watch out for. Meanwhile, I look at FTD. You know, I was trying to think of like what I wanted to see for them, because you know, there's not a ton of information on them. What little information I could go through on the replays, what I saw was that they like to be able to play pretty fast tempo, and as a result of that, you want something that takes objectives. They had the Shadow Shaman, but I want to see something like DK, or they just seem to be all about 15 to 25 minute like mid game team fighting. They don't have like a late game carry off.
Okay, let me
I don't think it matters though. In this meta, you have to play lanes properly.
Okay, but let me pose this to you both. We often talk about tier 2, tier 3 teams that come to these big events where they're matched up almost unmatched really to other teams, where they're playing teams of a completely different caliber that they're not used to. And we often say, do they go back to what they know best? Do they go back to comfort? We talked about the Brazilians last year, the whole year round. Sometimes they would funky stuff up a bit and it wouldn't look very good and they'd lose in 20 minutes. And then they'd go back to what they knew and they'd look good again for 20, 25 minutes and then lose. But at least they gave them a game. So are they caught, FTD, are they caught in the same kind of decision making? Do they go back to, for instance, they've been playing a lot of Jug Razor, which isn't necessarily what anyone else has been doing, but they're good at it. That's what they enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's the part of the problem though is that when you talk about comfort picks for some of these other teams, they have some comfort niche strats. They have some variations on the meta. When you talk about comfort picks for FTD, looking through their drafts, by and large, it's very heroes that every team knows how to play against now.
Yes, it's a patch, 2 patches ago.
Yeah, and it's worth commenting on both sides here. Not just talking about FTD, but talking about Gambit.
Yep.
We are still in a very unsettled meta right now. There's still a lot to be gained, a lot of new ideas to be brought to the table, and things like this Dahak Crimson Guard Visage build, right? If you go into a game and you don't know how to play against that, and all of a sudden, holy crap, I've got to do 100 damage to break a layer of Gravekeeper's Cloak when Guard is active, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, well, the sensible thing is to ban it then.
And by the way, nobody else is doing that.
No.
There are 9 Crimson Guards on Visage in the last 2 patches, and he has 5 of them.
Right, okay.
He has 5 of them.
Okay. Or if it didn't work first time around, maybe it works the second time.
You know, I was like, all right, well, they've got only 2 options. They went for Lifestealer first pick last time. It got shot down really hard. Maybe they'll go Jug this time.
Okay, they banned the Visage.
Yeah.
That's something, right?
Yeah, they banned the Visage. So the Ursa and the Nyx come out, which is the same. The Jakiro and the Lifestealer is exactly the same for FTD. This is what we call a PPD pick.
Okay,
we're going to pick exactly the same things we did before, but we're going to fix what was broken in our draft. But I don't necessarily think that that's the case with this.
Well, let's talk about lanes, though, because what gave you trouble last time by FTD is that you misread You misread the laning phase. You possibly didn't know how effective this Visage
Crimson
Nyx
was, yeah.
Yeah, the Visage, Nyx, and Lich tri-lane in particular gave you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, is Gambit going to have that same kind of tri-lane potential here with Visage off the board?
Okay.
And the worry is that they turn around and they instead of picking the tri-lane core, they go ahead and pick something like an Undying next. And you tri-lane around that, and that's just as bad.
Yeah. And they've banned the Deucer.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna laugh if,
except
like,
for the Visage, it's the same thing.
Last time they picked Bristleback into Nyx Assassin Lich.
Well, you
right?
Yes.
Yeah. By
Like,
the way, why am I seeing Bristle picked against Mini Duel? Do we not realize that Sinister Gaze is like Mini Duel?
And then you've got the break mechanic of Nyx Assassin. I'm just laugh if FTD this time around go like DK for their mid lane, man, and just the break mechanic comes through once again.
Man, oh man. Okay, so the question here, you got to recognize by FTD, are Gambit going to show tri-lane potential with this pick? Because if they do, you have to answer immediately, I think.
Just an update for you as well of the other matches going on. Earlier on, Mineski won 2-0 against FTD. That was in the first round, of course. Gambit and Forward picked up a game against each other. We obviously had Secret versus OG doing exactly that, splitting one apiece here. Right now, Gambit won up here in this game. Secret are one up against Forward. That was a 30-minute game, and a 24-minute game for OG, dominating against Mineski in their first game. They're in game 2 right now.
Wow, OG looks like they came to play at this event.
They did, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't be a surprise to see them come out in the top 2 now.
And again, I don't think you're quite as worried about the tri-lane this time for FTD, but you're picking a hero in Tusk that's kind of fallen out of favor in the meta for a reason. That change to early tag team, it means you no longer have this crazy uptime on this ability, and more importantly, the mana cost now feels prohibitive in so many laning situations.
I wanted to ask you, because we haven't had Will on yet, Kat, but I'm sure you'll have spoken to him. Is he
what, Storm Spirit?
Is he happier with the Storm Spirit? I mean, it's going to have less mana issues early game now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it still not enough? Though,
I mean, I know he was happy to see a buff.
Yeah, he's happy to see the hero get anything.
It's not enough to bring it back, is it?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, most like B patch buffs and nerfs aren't enough to like swing a hero's like tier in drafting.
But there's the odd
maybe
thing
it's a little bit better or a little bit worse.
Are we going to see Omni Knight pocket strats by the end of this tournament? That's what I'm kind of dreading.
Dreading?
Yeah.
I would love to see Omni Knight. I've been waiting for that hero. I've been waiting for
as long as we don't see Naga.
Slacks has gotten to
dude. As long as we,
you have to remember, I hate status resistance. I absolutely hate status resistance.
As long as we don't see Naga Disruptor ever again.
You have to
my life.
For,
don't hate on us.
You'll have to wait for Mineski for that one. They've been playing off-lane Naga Siren.
Ugh.
Any team with KP.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That's a specialty, right?
Those long games were mainly newbie games, weren't they? Naga, Disruptor, Deucer, extra late game, long game, late game things. That was a horrid.
Yeah,
time.
this Naga Siren now is.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little fast.
Offlane's not as bad, I guess. Tusk over on the FTD side.
Yep.
A little bit different for them. An Initiator. A Saver.
Yeah, at the cost of no longer having the Shadow Shaman that gives you the ability to take towers. So they needed more that does that for them.
So take one out, steal one. It's nice, isn't it? Rubik Doom.
You need something that doesn't care about the Ursa so much, and it's like a natural Lincoln's pickup for the Doom.
This is a tough pick, though. It's tough to pick your mid here. So I guess you pick your 3, and you go something pretty generic.
That Prophet's still on the table, isn't it? Because they play a lot of off-lane Prophet.
Yeah. I think you could go Tide.
Yeah.
Or I guess if you wanted to be super, if you want to be super conservative. Oh, Razor's gone. Okay.
Yeah, Razor's gone was just it's their most famous pick for YRG.
I liked Puck. Then I remember there was Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
And they're actually the ones who banned both Morphling and Medusa.
Man, a lot of the picks that I would want to say, I'm running into this. Yeah, Nyx is good against so many of them.
You could do a mag.
I mean, they have run Mag PA. Well, it's be Mag Lifestealer, not Mag PA, but
Yeah, done a little bit of that.
it's Mag good. Oh man, is Mag good in lane here though?
I mean, I think
feel
it's
like
just an
Mag gets
accelerator
wrapped
for
on
your
lane.
Lifestealer
Is
to make him
Mag
a better core than
not-
he is right now in this game.
I feel like if you're picking Mag in this game, you wanted to pick him as a 4. They're gonna go beast.
Yeah, gonna go beast. That's a more safe off laner for them.
Let's do it.
Now I don't know if Gambit
They
run
want
this, but well, I think somebody's gonna ban OD is the problem. I think that what you can do as Gambit is you can pivot to. I guess you can't pick Rubik Core anymore against Lifestealer. If you wanted to get fancy, you turn the Rubik to a core and you pick something like a Grimstroke for double Doom.
Whatever. The way FTD has been like doing their drafting
Yeah, I don't think
the
you want to
last
get that
week is
fancy.
like, I think they're just gonna do like DK mid, and just
win.
Just
Conquer
run.
ban for YRG, so
3 tanky cores,
Yeah.
some team fight,
You have to ban OD.
run at
Yeah.
some objectives.
is the troll banned?
No, Trolls definitely a good pick for Gambit.
Yeah,
And they run a lot of that.
yeah.
I mean, why are they banning the Medusa themselves, though?
Yeah, Faded plays a fair bit of it. But it is also a hack.
I feel like they
Special
can't run
though,
it
isn't it?
with a Nyx Assassin on the enemy team, maybe. Pugna. Nyx
Well,
Assassin,
if this
God
is-
damn it.
if
Like all
OD is still in
all
the
the
pool-
intelligence mids like
Yeah.
Puck, Quap, and Pugna.
Do you feel
were
like
pretty
if FTD picks OD here that Gambit come right back with Pugna?
I mean,
you
they
do
have
special.
Nyx
You know
Assassin.
the other
There's no
one.
way they run OD. They have Nyx Assassin and they can last pick, counter pick Pugna.
Yeah.
There's
As well as
no
the
way.
troll, the other thing that they run a lot of is the Timbersaw.
Timber has the same sort of problems.
It does,
as
yeah.
And Doom.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you can't do
Literally,
that for
like
Pugna.
almost
in a
every
way.
single hero that I've seen FTD run is just
Mm,
countered by Nyx or Ursa
yeah.
and Doom. And then all the other heroes they usually pick up are ban.
Mid-tide?
No, Ursa.
Not for FTD.
Doom.
That's true, yeah.
Ursa, Doom.
they've ruled
You
out so
actually
many
you
of
lose
them,
that
haven't
matchup against Doom.
they? They actually have ruined so many of FTD's mid-picks. And they're going to go back for the troll. That was the original one we talked about.
But then you
went all
can
around
do
the houses.
almost anything here as Gambit. And there's the OD.
And there's the
That's
OD.
what
I
it's-
mean, that was
yeah.
another perfect pick.
There's just no way.
I mean, you've got the
what do you-
single
okay,
targeted
what-
focus of
what do you have
Lifestealer
to do
and
to win?
Beastmaster
I mean,
and Troll all trying to focus on
do they
something.
need to rename the team for the dream needs to be for the miracle?
Okay,
'Cause
so
this is going to be tough, Cap, isn't it?
can both Lifestealer,
I mean, I like
both Lifestealer and Troll have to get farmed enough that one of them can get doomed and they still win the fight? Is that that's basically the win condition here? Help me out, Cap.
No, I mean, I don't think their draft is like. I mean, it's better than last game's draft.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible. They've got a win condition in the Troll. I mean, again, I still don't agree with their concept of Beastmaster Lifestealer.
Agree.
I personally don't like that. Troll's hard to play against Doom because part of the problem is that as Troll, when Doom appears, you have to just hit your ultimate.
Right.
You just have to go, ah, crap. You just hit your R button. You could be at like 75% HP. You won't be able to get that like extra second life that you basically get out of your ultimate.
It limits the way both Troll and Lifestealer can play these fights. It's tough. He's right, though. It's
Okay.
better than last game.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I just wish they had like a faster tempo core somewhere in this mix that would enable Lifestealer more.
All right, yeah, some sort of bomb in there as well. Let's head over to our commentators and see whether they were more or less impressed with the second draft this time round from FTD. It looks a little better, gents, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna be optimistic. This is the optimistic cast, Kyle.
Okay, good.
Optimism.
That's
That's right.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I think,
What?
yeah, I don't
No.
know. That's hard.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's work for a different meme to fit into that one. The anti-NA stream, where we're gonna be optimistic about absolutely everything and anyone can win here. even if they do draft very, very similar heroes to Game 1, and it feels like we're playing the same storyline. But the Troll mixes things up, and the Tuskar mixes things up. So that's at least the changes we can look at.
It just feels like they're playing into Gambit's hands. Like, and somehow they gave Gambit Radiant again. Radiant is better. Like, it feels like FTD is just a step behind in certain concepts. Like, they're like, oh, Lifestealer is really good, so we're going to just take this hero every game. But they're giving away Nyx Ursa. And like, Gambit, Ursa's big weakness is he doesn't have any sort of lockdown, right? You combo that with Immersion's Nyx. It's so much stun. It's like almost 5 seconds of stun lock on a target. And Lifestealer can't turn off his Radiant. Well, he can turn off his Radiants, but, you know, it's tough to toggle that like mid-fight.
I'm just loving the atmosphere that already just came from Dahak. It's like, I'm going to walk straight up the hill. I'm blind. I see absolutely nothing. I walk into 2 cores, and I don't even move backwards when I see them. Like, this is the mindset that is very dangerous if you're FTD, if Gambit are in this. And you see it again. Dahak is just moving over. It's a one-on-one, and Beastmaster's like, I can't do anything here. You were mentioning it during Game 1's draft, where you're like, this just feels really slow. How do we make this better? And maybe this is one way to do it. Like, the Beastmaster is now heading towards the top lane. Lifesteal is heading towards the off lane. So they're going to try and make this a better functioning lane without having to force a TP early on.
But it's
not the matchups they wanted, right?
Lifestealer into an Ursa, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a great core matchup. I feel like you'd be better off just doing this lane shenanigans. You know, have Tusk pull the bottom creep wave. Let your Lifestealer lane against the Doom. Like, that's what he's built to beat.
Look at Gambit move their tri lane instantly down to the bottom lane. They do not want Faded to feel comfortable here. James is also arriving as the Tuskar, but the stun begins on the Lifestealer. Dual Breath will only catch out in 2, and the Fade Bolt reduces the damage. So this Lifestealer already does almost nothing when they want to engage, and what's the first thing Doom does? He runs towards the Beastmaster and just starts hitting him down.
Not just that, he eats the creep. This is the dream for a Doom. You just devour off cooldown and eat boars. I don't know if you ever eaten boar meat before, Toby, but it's actually quite tasty.
I think I have, actually. I think I have. There's a lot of stuff that I get asked to try a lot, and like I draw the line at like pig trotters. Pig trotters is one of the biggest things lately. I've been celebrating Chinese New Year, and it's all about like dumplings and pig trotters are the 2 big things on the menu.
It's interesting because dumplings are so good.
No, dumplings are amazing. I actually like.
Oh my god, homemade! I could tell you stories about homemade dumplings. You know what's amazing is how many different cultures have different kinds of dumplings, like just traditionally. Like Poland, you know, pierogies. Those are also incredible. And in fact, I think I'll be eating some as soon as this game ends.
All right, who's in for dinner? Who's in for first blood as well? Middle lane. YRG's going after it, and Afro needs one more hit. He's able to claim it. And FTD, they needed something to give them some momentum in this game, and they're able to do it. The mix-up pick with the Troll gets them the kill on the 5th pick of the OD.
Not bad, and that hopefully gives them a bit of momentum, because like you could just tell in their faces they were not feeling good after their performance in Game 1.
Yeah.
Started off, you know, I might disagree with their decision to lane in the side lanes like they did, but at least they were there in time. And check out the faction stats right there.
55.36%. I'm liking how the Sata, like, is the Sata bias on the factions as he comes up as the icon in this image?
No, he's a neutral. I'd say he's an ancient, which would imply that he's wise.
He's wise and a representative of the Dota Earth.
Yeah.
Actually, is it Dota Earth? Like, this isn't set on Earth, is it? Oh, nice. Pick up, chain, stun, Faded. He's not level 2, so there's no rage available. He'll get his distance from FNG, so they will not be able to find a kill here, Gambit, but still heavy damage into the Lifestealer.
This is interesting so far. I want to say I'm buying into the for the green.
There's the combo again. Stick charges is the only thing that saves James's life. Well, up on top lane, the Beastmaster, the thing that saves his life is also some stick charges. He got hit by a level 2 Infernal Blade, and it just destroys his health. Yeah. Actually, he Infernal Bladed the boar. Not enough slow control.
I'm surprised he didn't put extra points in Devour. I would have certainly expected him to just max that spell in this lane. Because you just, again, like this boar is the only reason he's unable to pressure here. If he just eats it off cooldown, there's no threat from the beast. And it also gives you 8 health regen instead of just 3. It's pretty considerable. It's like a ring of health and regen.
Maybe that's the reason. Like, he maybe felt an opportunity. He's got Devour off cooldown. The boar's sitting right in front of him. Like, this is actually one of those times when you look for the Doom efficiency.
Yeah.
Like, am I waiting for a level 2 Devour? Is that what he's already got level 2?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
He's not skilling it.
Yeah,
We're both looking at the top lane, but the bottom lane is probably where the action's going to be. You may want to creep from the side.
At least this time, FTD, you've got a Tusk instead of a Rasta, so not only is your tri-lane better, but at least your supports aren't so heavily level dependent.
He leveled up Scorched Earth. He's actually had like this level 1 Devour. Okay, fine, he'll use it on the big troll.
Yeah, the spell was changed, but the only nerf was the level 1 point. So instead of 4, it gives 3 health regen now. It still scales just as well. All the way up to 18 health regen, and of course can stack. But hey, you get
here's that Scorched Earth going to work, and with the troll trap, you'll hold the Beastmaster in position, and one more hit. Not required. The burn was already good enough.
And Afterlife again gets a bottle. He did this on the previous game as Tidehunter, and I think it's not bad when you're winning the lane and you want to grab those bounty runes anyway. Even just two cycles of getting both bounties makes the bottle worth. Yeah. Saves your trip back to base and preserves your shrine.
They're going again on the Faded. Stunned up, Snowball will end up saving him, and Faded wants to create some more space. Remember, he doesn't have that rage, he's level 2, but he went for the open wounds instead. And, well, Dahak is looking for his own kill. Got a lot of Fury Swipes stacked up over on James, 5 in total at the moment, and they try and create some space, and they're able to not do so. Immersion already hits his stun.
He has 383 move speed as just Brown Boots Ursa. That's crazy. Like, poor Jakiro's at 290. Tusk's at 348, and he has boots as well. Like, how is that even fair? It's a 35 move speed disparity.
He's got nothing to offer. Maybe that'll be in the next patch. Now that you've brought it to everyone's attention, just like we're going to be changing the way the design mechanic works, just because you brought it to everyone's attention. Yeah. Thanks, Kyle.
I mean, it's another reason. So I think differences in like the way people lane and itemize now have increased the power of strength heroes, but you know, melee heroes got a big buff with the free wind laces that were just handed out by our wonderful Ice Flame.
Great follow-up stun. Just use the imprisonment to set up for the Impale. YNG. That's actually kind of thanks to Mana he didn't do the Whirling Axes, because he would have triggered himself on the Spike Carapace and made an opportunity for Afo to get that kill. And Doom off cooldown, just leveled up. And that is one very dead Beastmaster. Unless someone wants to TP up here, the Doom, he'll live.
He's fine. No. Close.
Yeah, get away. Get away.
Last tick.
Get away.
Oh.
He's fine. He's fine. Not fine.
Feet eating a tango. Trees. Save the trees. Save lives, Toby.
Oh,
well, I guess that's not really saving the trees. You've got to cut one down to heal yourself, but you get my drift.
It'll live on as part of me, right? Mm. I've heard this in a sci-fi somewhere.
Yep. That's why I routinely eat paper.
This is what?
OD's got 3 nulls, and even though he died and gave away first blood, I don't even know if he cares. Like, the troll's just jungling because you no longer have the ability to stay in lane. You just get astral spammed on.
They found the Jakira. They see the ice path coming from a mile away and dodge it. It's Spy Carapace looking for some tick, but the Breathe Fire didn't actually help him out in that front, so Jakira will survive. And James's rotation in towards the mid. Where's the follow-up? Like, Troll's in his own jungle at the moment. I'm not exactly certain what the Tuskar's looking to achieve.
It's not really much he can achieve, unfortunately.
Now Phase Boots on the Doom. They can't chase him down. In fact, the TP's already on the way. Roar is out, but look at Troll Wall. Nope. One TP does complete. The other was a fake out. And now James's rotation. We'll see if it does come to fruition on bottom lane. VT Faded's already on the run.
And
they'll have to dive underneath this tier 1 tower if they want to get the kill on Immersion.
Yeah, but you do. There's so much time spent. Like, there's a Tusk in it. Like, this is your mid hero. He's top. Yeah. We've talked about rotations and how you can't miss creep waves for them, or it just becomes...
Is the way of pushing in. So already starting with the Whirling Axes, and the stuns follow up, but here comes your Doombringer into the fight. The Troll Trap controls up the Troll. That's ironic. As Snowball forward, looking for an extra quick save onto the Troll, over towards Rubik. They need to get some kills. They're trying to force the issue onto this Troll Warlord to make it worthwhile. All this time that he spent up here, the slow from the wide axes. Doom, he just can't run away. The axes come through from the Beastmaster as well. Man, there's more synergy in this than a Goblin mech build.
Indeed. That was very surprising to me. Like, Gambit just over-rotating to try and defend their tower. Like, you're not really in a position to... they're not going to kill the tower. Let the Nyx go down, sure, but Afterlife, a little over-eager there to get involved. If anyone's going to be TPing like that, it should be OD, but he actually doesn't have one. After Ninja playing mid, just hard farming.
I think he actually committed it. That he was the first TP that came towards the top lane, so they TP'd in the Nyx, and there was another TP that got cancelled. I didn't see exactly who it was, but it would make sense it was Afo, which is why they couldn't bring the mid lane in. But he's still 50 to 27 on his CS. Top 3 net worth or top 4 net worth, 3 of them belong to the cause of Gambit. So they're still feeling very comfortable in the net worth.
The concern is just VT faded. Like, we've seen Lifestealer. Oh, we got a
roar. Yeah, it's over on Rubik. There's enough control with the balls, but FNG a pick up and throw down. James keeping his distance so he can shore the kill, but Doombringer arriving into the fight, but so does the Troll Warlord. Beastmaster, he's dropping though his arrow. Denial, it will not happen. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. At least as far as the Rubik and the Beastmaster go, 2-for-1 if we count the earlier kill.
Yeah. I'm just fearful for VT faded. He's now middle, half the level of an OD, trying desperately to farm a Midas. And that's just, this hero is so strong because he gets ahead and he can just stay ahead, use his body, farm aggressively. You got a built-in BKB. Only the Doom would be able to interrupt it in this game. Yet, he's just getting crushed. Like, there's no lane for him to play in.
As you see the comparison between, like, lane creeps-wise, it's just night and day. Almost 3 times the amount onto the Ursa. But there is one hero who's getting a lot of momentum behind himself. A 4-0-1 Troll Warlord, now #1 on the net worth by about 1 to 200 gold. The rest of his teammates are fighting. Snowball forward over towards FNG. It's a good ice path to keep him controlled. Fadebolt's available to reduce the damage, but not enough to stop James from finding this kill. And then the rune, Troll Trap, connects on Troll Warlord. He turns around for a quick axe, but Immersion is just easy to chain the stuns on the Troll. And, well, all that net worth I was talking about didn't appear too effective.
Indeed, and it's the strength of the Ursa. He's buying a Midas too, but he can get involved in the map because he's ahead. So he's actually a part of this kill. Now you can go back farm, finish Midas, whatever, but your issue is that FTD, you don't have a Lifestealer in this game for another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if your draft can compensate with enough pressure to stop Gambit from just continuing to accelerate until the point where they're near unstoppable.
Is this also the reason, too, where you just see Doom going in for the hand of Midas? Not to mention, like, it's just so damn efficient for him, but not building up the early Vlads to allow Ursa just a quick Roshan to move on.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot in this recent patch where you could make the argument, sure, buy the, the real items to help your team get stronger, but when you're ahead and the enemy side has no way to apply aggression, just scale.
That OD ulti, Immersion with a perfect spike. Carapace and follow-up Impel. FNG will arrive. They want to try and take these kills. Afo has already hit him so hard with the Sanity's Eclipse. He'll say goodbye to the Lifestealer. And FTD forcing the issue. They'll lose the heroes in mid, and they're going to lose their tier 1 tower on top.
So you can try to get involved as a Lifestealer, but you could see the difference between an Ursus kit and a level 5 Lifestealer. You just don't have power. You're not online. You're a train that's trying to realign yourself onto the track so you can actually get some momentum moving. And those sorts of deaths really punish you. Immersion.
Doom onto the Troll. Chikira's trying to create a little bit of extra space, looking for the Raw. A small interruption. Immersion is still here. Able to hit the Vendetta connection onto the Beastmaster, but this Doombringer, he's still got 10 1 charges available. He's even got himself a Centaur Warstomp sitting inside of him, so if they want to go, they can go, but Ursa's wanting to fight. 4 heroes from Gambit quickly move to mid. It was a waste of a Doom, however.
Yeah.
And that's just shrined off by the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, he'll be really happy if we can finish that Midas before the Arcane Rune. See, I don't mind the Midas build at all on Doom, especially just because he went for this 2-2-4 build. I'd be upset with it if he was maxing his Q and just playing super greedy to try and farm. But if you want to play this aggro Doom, I think it's fine to compensate for your lack of Devour skill points. You can make an argument both ways. Midas finally finished on VT Faded.
Immersion's hunting top lane. There's no blink dagger on this Ursa, but he knows if they can just lock down this Lifestealer, just cut straight through. There's your perfect stun. Boom, boom, boom. And goodbye, Fader. By the time he's able to get the rage off, he's already dead.
Nyx and Lifestealer. Or sorry, Nyx and Ursa. Probably one of my favorite combos on this patch. Definitely Gambits. They will take it whenever it's available just because you have natural synergies. Like Ursa has 4 seconds of tons and tons of damage. It's the 2 full overpower charges. You precast the one, get the other off as you open, and it's a ton of DPS. Nyx allowing you to just skill. He is a Midas, but he's still so threatening just because Immersion offers so much lockdown. Doom's going to finish his soon.
Man, this actually did such great stuff for Gambit. Like, I'm sure the panel will break it down when you look towards the group stage, but thanks to the fact that OG got a victory against Mineski, no one's going to have a flawless victory through this. But if they can get a 2-0 in this series, and they're definitely on their way, as they're going to try and kill off the OD. Ice Path is down from FTD. Gambit, as they will on the way the opposite direction. FTD get the fight they wanted. You know, I shouldn't have started talking about good things about Gambit.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry to every CIS viewer that's tuning in right now. The caster curse just got real. I was going to say, it's a great series. If they can get a 2-0, they can move ahead. Well, he's too far away from the courier.
Now, they do lose mid tower for that miscue, and that's a big deal because it makes Gambit's Roshan attempt a lot more difficult to defend. You always want to have that mid tower so you can play around the shrine and tower and just have more map to use to keep your enemies outside of the pit. Immersion.
Got it.
Bingo.
Got it. That was actually the phase boots of Lifestealer.
Oh, he doesn't
He'll
have
look
TP.
for revenge now on Immersion. Yeah, he's kind of stranded on the wrong side. James actually gets the kill, even though Faded uses Infest to...
It's a minor thing, but it just speaks to the... I don't want to say lack of class of FTD, but just perhaps not thinking things through as much as some of the other teams at this event.
Yeah.
You would have seen a VP, a Secret, even a Mineski. Like, you're going to give that kill to Lifestealer, and he's not blowing his ult for that either. It's not a huge punish because he's not going to look to get involved for some time, but...
Yep. It feels almost like a little bit of desperation coming in from FTD. It's like, guys, like, we still haven't won a game. Like, we're only two games in, and we're already looking to be, like, at the bottom of the group. Like, just kill everything. Kill them all. Anything that appears. They're going to battle for runes. James, well, he's not going to get that one. In fact, I'm looking at 3-1 odds in favor of Gambit for bounties. Hilariously enough, yeah. Gold gained, 22-22.
That's a cool stat. It's another one of the reasons I think games pacing has accelerated a bit, just because there's now more gold on the map thanks to these bounties.
Oh, Faded. That's a little bit of confidence to walk past the river.
Some Ursa Nyx. I keep saying it, but I'm probably going to have to quit repeating myself in 2 or 3 more. We're going to see a lot more of those kinds of kills.
You're getting repetitive, Kyle. Stop it. Hello, FNG. Wrap around the back. Oh, they get telekinesis. Pick up, throw him underneath the tier 2 tower. OD, defensive imprisonment, meaning the raw follow-up isn't really there. And you got a courier fortified up, getting him back behind the lines. Don't know why that was moving over the top of FTD, but it was anyway. And the rest of Gambit moving over. Ursa, as well as Nyx Assassin coming in close. The Sentry Ward and the Hawk combination at least scouts out Immersion's movement. So FTD can just bail out of this.
Your issues is you're already running up against 2 Midases. Your Lifestealer's just, yeah, he has his own, but he's just not farmed.
But he
Every
can
minute
never
that goes by.
Doombringer, right? Like, it's a Hand of Midas and a level 4 Devour.
It's just, Gambit's cores are all going to start snowballing pretty soon. They're gaining gold faster than FTD, and they're the only ones with real kill potential on the map. You can see a Roar onto a hard support, but there's no one who can really follow up. Where's the damage from FTD?
Snowball coming over towards FNG while the top lane, they're going to Doom up over on the Lifestealer. So looking for a bit of a trade-off as FNG does go down quickly. Dual Breath onto Immersion, clips the edge of the Doombringer, but they just keep moving forward, and with the OD, dropping the hammer, the life, the mana, it all disappears. So does the troll into the abyss. 4 heroes down, Ursa's up. They can just jump in and do Roshan right now. Doesn't matter if FTD have wards to the north and south. They can see what happens, but they'll still die.
I mean, textbook. Again, Immersion. His Nyx is like, you got to ban this guy's Nyx because he just makes Gambit play better. They are such a different team when they have either Nyx or Night
They can
Stalker.
test this. Roar's off cooldown in 2 seconds time, and Dahak doesn't have a lot of life to work with. So they're TPing an extra support. The Roar comes out. If Roshan wants to bash him, they may find the kill, but the stun from Immersion. Dahak, okay, 1 charge is up. It's a good macro pie inside the pit. Roshan still killed by Radiant, and it's the Ursa Warrior who claims it. He'll burn the Aegis Immortal almost instantly. Immersion realizes he's visible underneath the Sentry Ward, but the damage, Afo, he's got 20 stolen intel, plus he's got the Kaya. He's looking just to continue to pound into any hero that comes in range. The Beastmaster's gone. Jakura will join him.
Oh no, he just gave level 4 Ice Path to Rubik, Toby.
Yeah, another stun, it's fine, doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's all good.
Did he tip him? No, he's tipping the Tusk.
They're all tipping Tusker.
This is... This is looking rough for FTD, man. Gambit's just in their comfort zone, and it's so easy for them to play this game. Like, they snap picked that 22 pick OD right away. They knew exactly what their draft needed. Their side laners both accelerate. It's just, at this point, it's scripted. You know, just maintain your advantage. At some point, pick up BKBs, and just like we saw that hammer dropped on the top Shrine team fight, you do that one more time.
8 more to pay off for efficiency. I think it's already, it's a long time. I don't know if this game will last long enough for Lifesteal to use his Midas 8 times. This is rough. FNG's waiting on the bottom lane. A Blink Dagger now brought up by the Doombringer, still with an extra 1,000 gold to spare. It's kind of the dream.
Yeah.
If you're Gambit at the moment.
Yeah, there's still little things I like about FTD's doing. You know, I like the Lifestealer's going armlet here before Radiance because he recognizes, look, if I'm just farming for the next 10 minutes, we're certainly going to lose. I've got to try and get involved. So like, they're making a lot of micro decisions that are good. It's just that their movement and understanding of the map as a team is suffering. Might have some trouble. VT faded.
They're waiting.
Don't walk into
They're
Doom.
just watching. He can just trigger Arcane Rune and then just pop off the Doom. I don't know if they're exactly waiting for something or they're looking for more information because no one's TP'd to the top lane to defend the tier 2 against Dahak.
No one's showing right now except the mid lane. And that's always a little spooky if you're the side of Gambit.
Now they show the Rubik. TP's coming in. Blink, Doom. He did get a Rage off, which will give him a little bit extra movement to get away. And maybe... Nope. Ice Path level 4. Stolen. Hold. And kill.
How long is that Ice Path last, actually? I forgot. I haven't seen a Rubik versus Jakiro in so long. But keep in mind,
2.5 second duration.
But plus the passive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 36% debuff amplification at the moment. So that's 36 times 2. Never mind. It's longer. The Ice Path lasts longer, Toby.
That's math. Troll Trap is out once again. Tuskar can't move away. And in fact, look at the Doombringer. They knew they already had the kill. So jumping forward with the OT hammer. Beastmaster is deleted. And they're going once again for even more. Chasing the last remaining player alive for FTD. Goodbye, Troll. And I don't want to say goodbye game 20 minutes in, but it does seem like FTD just has nowhere they can play on this map and no way they can take a fight, no way they can survive if Gambit initiate.
It just felt like they were guessing with a lot of their movements around the map earlier on. They once again had a poor laning phase. And you can see Immersion Nyx, really the hero of this game, just doing everything for his squad. Present for 13 out of their 20 kills so far, but a lot of them, I mean, that's just because a few were handed to his allies, but...
It's like I'm a ward, and I go for the kills which are possible. But when I've got every single player here, we'll go for it. Spy Carapace, he didn't want to stay inside the ice path, so he doesn't get the trigger on that, but it won't matter. A jump forward. Doom is off cooldown in 5 seconds' time. So Rage is burned for a little bit longer. No Infest, but at least faded if he can avoid the Doom. Like, do you just give him a different target? Like,
yeah, somebody buy a Lincoln's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Sell everything you've got, Troll.
Yeah, I still have the money from my last game I can spend in this game.
Yeah, it's just...
Snowball in towards mid, going after FNG. Instant stun is the way the Snowball gets to function for him, but FNG just tanks through so much, and he stole Infest! Oh. Wait, hang on, what's he in? He's in the ball. He's in the ball. FNG will pop out. There is no one to help. It's like, how long can I remain in here?
I can give it a good old college try. No shame in that. We're going to spawn a second. You have a Shiva's complete on Afro Ninja. He's just got to walk over to the side shop and grab it. And this, again, goes back to that whole concept, Toby, of increasing your damage output and survivability at the same time. So BKB is going to be next option on Ursa.
You got a Shiva's on him. It's a full Crimson for the Doombringer. Like, my God, their resistance is unbelievable.
Well, perhaps FTD's resistance is futile.
That's a my joke.
It's not a joke. It's a reference.
It is
like
a reference. Yeah, I know. It's Borg. It's all Borg.
Not bad.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a movie buff boy. I'm the one that normally makes references with my co-casters.
It's a book.
What?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. No, sorry. The Borg obviously assimilated that one. I get it from Star Trek. What did you get it from?
Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Huh. Yeah, it wasn't that.
Star Trek was way before my time. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, resistance is futile is the way to go from if you're the board queen. Let's let that one slip out. Nyx Assassin Immersion, surrounded by 4 heroes. This is how you can get a kill. Just walk underneath the sentry ward. No, there's no way to really escape, and the rest of your team is waiting on the far side looking for the gank. Yeah, and that won't happen.
I like what Gambit's done, though. Like, they're sitting on their lead in a sense, but they're still positioning aggressively and just camping the second Roche because they recognize, look, we've won this game. We just have to not throw. If we're going to take a big clash, make them when we're really ready to go around a game-winning objective. FTD, you can smoke at us, but they're just going to camp a high ground, most likely. OD in some trouble, though.
Yeah, he's a little bit further out. Like, there's a lot of arm to get through, but when the Ice Path connects, if he can get a defensive imprisonment off, he can buy some time to do nothing. Like, no one else
You do
is there.
some shopping. Buy your Ogrex.
Oh, yeah. No, he wants to try and survive. Money? Bought? No, he lost it. And gave the killing spree to the Beastmaster.
Yeah. Not bad. That's a little hubris from Alpha Ninja. Should not be there. His whole team had evacuated the jungle. Not a huge deal because the Roche isn't spawned yet.
And that's going to be the next big thing to wait for. He's got 1 minute and 15 before he could potentially spawn. But the Beastmaster's doing a good job, always keeping a very close eye on like when Roshan's going to come up, or anyone that's moving around the northern side of the map.
And your troll is a BKB, so all things considered, you're doing fine. But you know, a point Alink or Cap made, it's so annoying playing against a Doom. It's the same way OD, Luna, these heroes can just not enjoy it because you just get deleted. And you want to be this hero that can go move in and out of the fight. Axe spam.
It's just going to be round 2, rolling, well, snowball forward, and there's your jump. Dahak just jumps in. You got the BKB from the Troll Warlord, but the same from the Ursa, able to get stun lockdowns, and the Shards almost blocking in the Troll Warlord. And to block him out, James will at least get the flip. But yeah, James will sacrifice himself for this one. Snowball's further away, tries to buy a little bit of time. Those 2 braces will not protect him. The Hawk gets himself a double kill. The Basher goes to work. And the only upside for FTD is they get a couple of more bounty runes, which brings the Lifestealer closer to that Radiance.
Yeah, but it's just so late, Toe. It's 25 minutes already.
I ain't disagreeing with you, but remember, we said there's going to be the positive. The positive cast. Always think about the positive.
Well, you still have your whole base alive. That's a good start.
Immersion keeps walking underneath sentry wards, but then again, he's able to get the follow-up stuns. Afro happy place, happy place, happy place. How do I still fly in Neverland? I don't know. There's no happy place if you're FTD. That troll, he was meant to have something. Now Doom just jumps in deeper, finds the Jakiro. He followed the orange burning road. I was going to say yellow brick road, but it doesn't really apply to a macro pyre, but Jakiro was waiting at the end of it.
I love this. He ate the Frost Ogre as well, so, you know, look at FTD's lineup. It's all just physical damage, and they have they have old school Lich armor now, just on them for free. And I think that might just be it. You can't kill anyone on Gambit.
Oh, they're not leaving the base. Like, Gambit is staying, like, this is Gambit. Like, once Gambit have the upper hand, they're never going to get off the gas. And if they get off the gas right now, Gambit, I am going to be disappointed. I am disappointed. They could have taken top lane of Rax too.
Hey man, Kai OD pretty good, huh?
Oh, hi Faded. Bye Faded.
I love the Doom all chat voice line as well. Oh crap, that's just type.
Oh, here comes FTD. It's a fight, but Immersion underneath Observer and Sentry just walks away. They break the smoke. There's an infested up Beastmaster with a Blink Dagger available. So they're looking towards Roshan, and he'll spawn in 14 seconds time. The Beastmaster Hawk is going pretty deep. Gets a lot of good information on Gambit, but almost nothing they can do with it. Like, there's 5 heroes together. All right, what do we do?
If you're going to win this fight, you've got to somehow take out the OD.
They see the smoke. They could potentially position themselves on high ground, like almost like draw a line. They're burning dust really early on. That wasn't part of the plan. Observer and Sentry, but
look at the loop.
They're wrapping all the way around. Exactly where I drew my line is like where FTD thought they would come up directly on the other side, but they're looking in towards the base. No one's defending. They have their own Observer Wars down. They realize there's no defense. And like, is this a game of chicken? Are you going to come back to defend your range racks? It's a range racks. Who cares?
Well, not FTD. They're going to keep camping the same position, but they're going to get flanked.
It's a good Observer and Sentry. They're getting information. They see the next assassin coming in close. There is a sentry ward too. Beastmaster, who's his main target? No, no, he's going to die so quickly. The snowball, it will actually give him a moment. They'll jump for the forward. Beastmaster gets a off. It's over on the OD. They're trying to kill him off. Eclipse is on cooldown for 10 more seconds. OD actually cannot drop the ultimate. He needs more time. The Doom is on the Troll Warlord, but OD just imprisons himself. He's buying himself the time. But then again, FTD may be all dead by the time he's back up and having his ultimate. A Beastmaster TPing out in the hill. The Ice Path, a fraction of a second required. Doom's going to Arteezy himself, but you know, right now, Gambit's probably already won. They're moving towards the mid lane. They want to end this. Hey, James. Bye, James.
I think it just feels like FTD didn't even have a chance. Like this whole game, Gambit's just been ahead.
Yep.
And slowly but surely their lead grows. They're going to look to take a second Rax and probably just close this game out. And as you said, they didn't even have Hammer.
I don't
Troll
think...
pop BKB, but just gets doomed. Now what?
Like, I'm even surprised they're just taking their time on the melee racks. I suppose it's a little bit more insurance than anything else. If they blink an Abyssal onto the lifestealer, he's also going to go down. But no, Gambit, they'll be a little defensive about this, mainly because the AC's coming out and so's the Greaves.
Yep.
The Assault Cuirass on the Doombringer, 30 armor on him, not to mention the AoE effect. Oh boy.
That's the right choice. You just kill the Shrine, you're already taking 2 Racks, go get Roche, and then look to close out the game. And hey, new record. Wow.
Thanks, Andy.
No problem. He's with us in spirit.
Tribute. This is just a tribute. It's not as good as the original.
The original was Owen Wilson. That's another story.
To be told on panel later on. Oh, hello. We're coming back for a replay. I heard myself again. So there's that initiation, at least onto the OD.
And though we're about to get a little lit in our fight here.
Yeah.
Live, we have some action.
Yeah, they're actually going hammer and tongs in live. It's Beastmaster initiating in, so yeah, we'll bring it back to the screen right now. And as YRG, he just can't stand in this one. The snowball bought them a little bit more time, not to mention these 5-man ice paths Jakiro has got. But even with all of that, that's the game, that's the fight. And that is a 2-0 result for Gambit, which I can now say in comfortable natures gives them a fantastic position in the group. No matter what happens, they will be tied for first position in the group. And that means such a large amount to get into that upper bracket, not fighting the lower, and also not get kicked out.
They don't even look excited, man. It's like, well, they had a great day. They showed up on LAN, just won an online event. Now they're here. There's stiffer competition, but similar results. They go 3-1, as you said. But FTD, you've got to rest of the night to think about this. This was not the performance you were looking for to start out your tournament. But
yep.
Bear in mind, like, they haven't played forward. They haven't played secret.
Yeah, they're the 2 matchups tomorrow. Oh, boy.
You need to win at least 2 of those games to have a prayer at advancing outside of just the group stage.
And they'll have their matchup against OG on the 3rd day. And if OG continue to gain a little bit more confidence like they would have from like their game 1 victory they had against Team Secret. They won their first game against Mineski, who also 2-0'd FTD. Yeah, it could be a real rough run with the last 3 teams that FTD have to face up against, but it's still a really good sign for Gambit. Gambit, I was maybe concerned about them going in the first round, but hey, forward picks up a Mirana and everything looks better for you. Yeah.
I don't have much to add. I mean, Gambit ran what they've been running for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They executed well. FTD, I'm just not used to a Chinese team playing without like, it felt like there was no direction. There was no like
no intent.
Unifying strategy. They just didn't seem to have anything they developed for this tournament, and
yeah,
I'm surprised, really, and I do hope they can come back stronger tomorrow.
Well, maybe, as Cap said, maybe they weren't ready to actually have like a focus on this tournament. They replaced eHome coming in. It doesn't look good for them so far, as they are the only winless team so far at ESL One.
Yeah, tough start to the campaign as far as the Chinese new boys are concerned. They've got a lot to think about overnight. They'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the 3rd and 4th rounds in Group Number A. But success as far as Gambit are concerned, gents. You know, predictable perhaps, but that's a good solid start for day 1, 3-1.
All business. Nice and easy for Gambit.
It's one of the big questions when you're a team on a nice upward trajectory like Gambit is, having come off these nice results in an offline event last week. Are you going to show up at LAN? And it's not just how you play against the big boys. Are you going to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat?
Yeah.
And
because that's not always easy.
That's convincing.
It's not always easy. I mean,
absolutely not.
We said at the start of the show, Kat, that these are the underdogs. These are, you know, they're very much the underdogs at this tournament. But you've still got to play them. You've still got to beat them. You've still got to do the right things.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to lose to a punching bag, though, right? This team literally had no ideas or plans or anything. I don't know. Like, how do they just open with Lifestealer again? I went through a 5-minute like situation where I was talking to somebody. I look over, watching the game, and I see there's Lifestealer top lane, dies to a Doom. Okay.
Yep.
Look away. 30 seconds later, bottom lane, he gets ganked by Nyx Assassin out of Vendetta with an Ursa on top. All right, cool. Internet goes out in the green room. When it comes back, we're back up at the top lane where Lifestealer is dying to a Doom. And then you've got this troll who has been counterpicked by an OD and also has to play against a Doom. Like, he's not going to have much of a game either. All they literally had to do was just make sure that Lifestealer doesn't snowball out of control, and that's it. So, I don't know. It's just disappointing to see this. That,
well, I mean, we
like,
expect more from that region as well. I mean, we rarely get a team, even if we don't know much about them. I remember King came to Hamburg in 2017 as a relatively unknown set of players and still did, you know, pretty well. You know, they matched up well against teams and they surprised teams with some of their picks and they played in a different style, and it was kind of difficult to beat them at times. So, and we're used to that.
You remember what I said about, like, I was excited to see Keen because they had this sick 4-position player who I was like, I had a heart on. I was just like, this guy's really cool. He has some cool ideas. And in watching this team, like, I literally could not. There was nothing I was really excited about. There wasn't a player. There wasn't any ideas or strategy. It just feels like they maybe peaked at a certain point and they've just been limping along.
They've got
ever since.
They've got Forward Gaming and Secret tomorrow.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm not a big fan of regional generalities, but yeah, one of the things that you expect to see from Chinese teams on LAN, you expect to see solid technical execution in the laning phase, and you expect to see a decent strategy for how to bring mid-game aggression. That's what has sort of carried these teams, especially in the last year or so, and we've just seen neither at any point. We've criticized the drafts extensively, but it's really been the execution.
Let's focus on some of the positives, because Gambit, as I said, they can only beat what's in front of them, and they've done that convincingly in both games. There's been no real flaws. We haven't seen any really dodgy kind of mistakes or anything that could have let their opponents back into this game. So they've done what they needed to do.
They've done what they needed to do. I like the fact that they've shown up here and they've shown the same kind of aggression that we've seen them have success with in some of these other tournaments. They have their work cut out for them themselves, of course, because they played forward, and they're going to have to play OG and Secret tomorrow, correct?
They play OG and Mineski.
OG and Mineski.
Yeah, OG and Mineski tomorrow, and obviously they've played forward today, and they've picked up a 1-1 with forward,
which is great for them, right?
Yeah, so you'd imagine that OG and Mineski tomorrow, that's the decisive couple of games for them, isn't it? Because if they can win both of those, come away with 4 points from that, and then they head into the last day and they play Secret, they might already know where they're going to finish.
Yeah, I think they
can't
can
afford to drop anything tomorrow.
Like, even against Secret, like, I think they can take a game. I'm not sure if they can 2-0 Secret, because Secret does look pretty strong. But I have a lot of confidence in this Gambit squad. They just continue, like, again, the upward trajectory that you were talking about. I really liked watching them at WePlay. They haven't missed a beat here. 721B, like a slight nerf to maybe... Like, I think the only real hero that got nerfed for them would be Visage.
Right. Yeah. The Visage nerf is a big deal for them, but they have adjusted too, as we've seen in the last couple of patches. Not anything earth-shattering, but they've made the adjustment from the last patch to this one pretty well. I mean, I think we should be expecting some things from this team. The big sort of variable in question is you've got the other teams in this group that you just don't know which version of them is going to show up. I mean, we saw the S-tier version of OG today for the first time in a long time, right? We expect that Forward has not played its best Dota of the season yet. It's a tough group.
Yeah, tough group. Thank you very much, gents. Let's catch up before we move on and get final thoughts from our panel. Let's catch up with Shiva, who's with FNG.
Right, I am here with FNG. FNG, congratulations on your victory. You did 2-0 just now. Were you surprised that For the Dream let you have Visage in game 1 and Nyx Assassin both games?
I mean, they first picked Nyx. You know, we were more surprised by that they were so convinced about their Nyx. Maybe they had some kind of idea, but it didn't work out. I think we played pretty good, so it was kind of easy games, but with some problems.
Did you feel like after the drafts were done that you both games you had it in the bag?
Yeah, probably, because as I said, we just need to play our game. If we play our game good, we are fine. If we're not playing good, we lose. So it's like this is how Dota works.
Now both today, the games and also games that you guys have shown in the past, is when your team is ahead or even behind, when the game goes long, for some reason, you guys never lose composure. Like you're very strict that way, which is a really good thing. How do you do that?
I mean, as one TI winner said, Dota is not about kills, Dota is not about towers, Dota is about runs. So it doesn't really matter what happens like first 10 minutes. If you have idea to lose laning but to win later, it will work. You just need to do right stuff on map in a game.
Well, definitely show today. Congratulations, and of course, good luck to you for the matches.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Shiva. With FNG, their captain and drafter, of course, of Gambit. 2-0 winners in their second series today. They go to 3-1. The other two matches are still ongoing, by the way. They're both in game 2 right now. Secret 1 up in their game, OG 1 up in their game. Check those out on streams 2 and 3. Let's get some final thoughts from Nahaz and Capitalist before we move on. Gents, you know, he's a good captain. And he's a good drafter, and it's about time he won a damn event, isn't it?
I absolutely agree. He needs, by the way, his next game played at this event will be his 1400th in his career. That's top 30 all time. This guy has been around a long time. He's been around on a lot of good teams. But yeah, we haven't seen him have success on this kind of a stage, and I think that's overdue.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing more of Gambit throughout this tournament. I would like to be able to see how successful their drafting formulas are. This was very specific against FTD, but you know, just thinking about the fact that like the Ursa and Nyx Assassin, like how much that those two heroes combined. To see another thing happening with Secret with their Leshrac Pango, like some of these ideas that these teams are coming out with that just limits a lot of the drafting opportunities, or when it comes to your own team, opens up a lot of opportunities and versatility is really cool to see. And I'm interested to see how that goes and
how it evolves.
Yeah, like how people, when they're seeing that, what kind of counters they can come up with, what kind of answers are they able to basically find.
Yeah, it's very interesting as to how it's going to move on. Indeed, we're going to take a break here in Katowice, but don't go too far away. Grab yourself a little snack and a drink maybe and head back afterwards, because we're moving in to Group B. It's the absolutely unbelievable, indecisive, can't work out how it's going to go group. We'll see you shortly.
Kill, but the stun from Immersion. Dahak, okay, one charge is up. It's a good macro pie inside the pit. Roshan still killed by Radiant, and it's the Ursa Warrior who claims it. He'll burn the Aegis Immortal almost instantly. Immersion realizes he's visible underneath the Sentry Ward, but the damage, Afo, he's got 20 stolen intel, plus he's got the Kaya. He's looking to continue to pound into any hero that comes in range. The Beastmaster's gone. Jakura will join him.